Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Mom and John. Today I have so many things to talk about, but really, when don't I have so many things to talk about? First, I want to talk about this awesome letter I got from Irene. It made me very happy. I almost missed it because it was kind of like stuck to the side of the mailbox, and I reached in, and actually the mailbox is really high, so I'm like, trying to reach, and it's very difficult. And I got everything out, and I was like, wait, I think something else is in there. So I kind of fiddled around, and then this was there. Oh, it was so exciting. So I went to the library, and I got this today. And this is what I want to talk about. All right, first off, if I glance down like this, it's because I'm reading the notes I wrote about the book. Second of all, the book is called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. An economic hitman is a man or woman who goes into other countries, generally developing countries or countries with resources that America wants, convinces them that they need loans from America in order to make their economy a better place by putting in whatever they need at the time, electricity, water, whatever, and forcing these companies to take out loans with American banks, generally the World Bank, and only allowing them to use American contractors, which in turn makes a very few people very rich. And then when the countries can't pay back the money to America and they're in debt, America then has them in their stronghold, and basically America's building an empire by doing this. What this book warns against mostly is that empires fall, that we're building up and we're building up and we're making the rich richer and the poor poorer and poorer and poorer, and these countries, they think that they have economic growth, but what they're doing is making a few families wealthy in the country and the poor getting nothing. So these are the things I thought of while I was reading. When I read about how we're destroying ourselves and how we consume too much and we waste too much and then we still want more, I want to change. And I feel like most people want to change. We want to be different. We want to be better people creating a better society. But the other problem is that it's true. I like my lifestyle. I like that I have my computer and I have my car because it gives me access to people and places and things. I like my electricity and my running water. I mean, if I didn't have electricity, I wouldn't be able to be even doing this vlog. So, how do we change? And then, how will my changing make a difference in the world? And how can I make a difference on a really large scale so that it's impacting not only my life, but lots of other lives as well? Basically, how can I save the world? People tell us all the time what's wrong with our world and our country, but very few people tell us what we should do to make it better. And I think we need a leader. We need someone who has ideas that can set them into motion, that by our doing our little parts, because we're only one human. But if we band together, if we all do a little bit and work together towards one common goal, we can achieve these things that will make us a better society and stop hurting other people while we're doing it. So I told you the book talks about how America is basically an empire. Well, when we first came to America, well, not we, but the Pilgrims, when they first came to America, they were ruled by England. And England at the time was the world empire. And so we wrote the Declaration of Independence so that we could be free from that empire. And what are we doing now? We're doing the same thing. We're enslaving countries into our empire. And it wasn't fair, and we fought and we won against England, but on a fault. They couldn't concentrate their armies in one place because they had this whole empire that they had to protect. So they couldn't come over here and just fight our soldiers, or we probably wouldn't be in the position that we are today. But now we're the same way. We rule other countries, so why haven't those other countries risen up and fought against us? Because now we're in this war in Iraq, and we can't pull all of our troops out because they would collapse, and then we would have that on our shoulders, and our moral consciences would, go up in smoke. And so if these countries rose up and fought us, doesn't it seem likely that they would do pretty well since our military forces are all concentrated in one location? In the book, they also talk about how if the economic hitman can't do his job, they send in real hitmen, like snipers, who cause accidents and higher-ups accidentally die. And people say guns don't kill people, people kill people. But guns with people kill people. And for what? For money, for power, for prestige? We all die eventually. Do you want your legacy in life to be that you rose up while crushing other people? Is that what we want to be known for in America later in the world? Is that what we want in our history books? Because that's what people say about us. I know I just talked about how people say what's wrong in the world, and we know what's wrong with our country and what all the bad things we're doing, and nobody offers a solution, but I don't have a solution either, and I feel really upset about that because I want to do something. I want us to be a good nation that's helping other nations, but not at the cost of the citizens. So I don't really know what to do, but I feel like, back to the Constitution, we're supposed to rise up. We're supposed to fight. And if we don't like things, we're supposed to change them as the people. When we created this government, we gave a lot of power to the people because people didn't want to go back to England where the king held all the power. They wanted the people to have power. So we have power technically, but then why aren't we doing anything about it? And what can we do? Does anyone have any ideas? I mean, I don't feel like we can rely on political leaders because they have their own interest at heart. They're lying, cheating, stealing to make it to the top, to be the president. And maybe they'll be better than this president or the last president or the presidents that came before them. Or maybe they'll be worse. We don't really know. But we do know that we have our world interest at heart, at least here. So what do we do? Anyway, ladies, that's all I've got. Sorry if that was really heavy, but, yep, that's what I've been thinking about. Usually, I'm really excited on Thursdays because I don't have anything to do on Fridays, but tomorrow I have to be up at 8 a.m. for the Montessori school. Yuck. Michelle, I don't know if you're leaving tomorrow, I'm assuming you are, to go see Irene and Martha, but if you are, be safe. And Martha, I will get your package or letter or whatever I send you in the mail sometime next week. Sorry I haven't done it this week, but working 2 jobs and going to school 18 hours a week is really hard to do, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Anyway, I will talk to you ladies later. Nerd Fighters. P.S. If anyone wants to read this book, and I recommend it because it's really not boring. It's an actual story and it's really good. But John Perkins, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Let me know if you start to read it and we can discuss.